Well, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. It's the Olsons, and we're gone again. We are set up in Bay City, Wisconsin, on the north shore of Lake Pepin, on the beautiful July 3rd, 2025. So we're gonna go scope out the campground. We've been here in the past. It's a beautiful place. So let me show you around. Alright, so we're gonna start with the bathhouse. Couple sinks, couple stalls, couple showers, nice and clean. Handicap accessible. And I think Jazz said that it's about $5 for 5 minutes. And this time we're set up down here by the bathhouse. It's a little interesting getting in here. It's this is a big rig for a short site number 44. But they're really good to work with. The camp host, she's awesome. Like I said, we were here last year, kind of scoped out where we could park or where we wanted to be, and when you have a view like this, it's hard. I think we can figure out a way to get parked in here. And a longer weekend, no big deal there. So let's go explore the rest of the campground. So down that way is the tent camping and a little bit of a kids play area. There's a boat launch. This is all Bay City Park. They do have a dredging project going on. A lot of their sites are pretty much the grass sites. A lot of the sites they have here are permanent, but if you call early, as in like I think it's the end of January, beginning of February, maybe sometime in there, beginning of the year anyways. That's how we were able to book the 4th of July here. And we're just beyond that building. Can you see the top of the we're top of that little Class C there. That's where our rig is set. All right. Nice little parking area for people coming in launching boats. Again, this is a fairly small village on the northern end of Lake Pepin. There's the Cooper set up. But I'll tell you, the views are just amazing. To be able to come right out your front door and be able to check out the northern end of Lake Pepin. Absolutely gorgeous. And it is so quiet. This is, like I said, July 3rd. I'm sure it'll be full by the end of the day, but absolutely gorgeous. So I think this is kind of the permanent area up here. So I started on the back of the campground. This would be closer to where you come in. That's the road that comes in. We'll walk down that way too. And I know a lot of the campgrounds we go to, I say they're great. Great if you're passing through, but I'll tell you, if you're within an hour or two of here, this would not be a bad place to set up a permanent site for the summer. This is kind of a little slough. I think the one a couple clips ago, I think you could see the I don't know, kind of spillway keeps this area full. That's kind of the backside of all these campers. But if you sneak a peek through there, I bet a lot of these don't give their sites up very quickly. Almost Lakeview, or lakefront, definitely Lakeview. And it's like every site, right through the trees, right onto the lake. So we'll walk out of the park a little bit. Maybe it's still part of the park, but kind of the entrance. And so they had a little kids play area down by the boat launch, and up at the front of the park, beyond the camping by a quarter mile maybe, is the large village park. A lot more play area for the kids. And we are on the Wisconsin side of the Mississippi. You might not be able to hear it, but I can. A train running on the Minnesota side of the river. But there are tracks on this side as well. Sometimes they're very busy. Last year we camped in Alma, Wisconsin, and we were real close to the tracks, probably maybe a couple 100 feet off the tracks. And I kid you not, the trains, it was at least one every 15 minutes, if not more often than that. They're not running quite that busy now, as they were last year. I didn't hear any overnight. I'll show you the tracks later on. We're gonna do a little walking through the town, the village, Bay City. But yeah, they got a basketball court, swings, jungle gym. They even got a bathroom, little pavilion here. This is all right at the beginning of their village or city park. But absolutely gorgeous. They've got multiple places to sit and observe. We like I said, we made plans last year, the first time we were here, to make sure we were able to get in up here. We tried to get the rest of our camping people in, and just didn't work out. But I'd highly recommend trying to come up here for a little stay. The Coopers, they came up and stayed for, I think, 10 days, something like that, Friday to through the following weekend. So they were up here the weekend before the 4th all the way through till Sunday. I think we're all leaving. Yeah, I'd take this any day. It's almost a good reason to retire and just kind of hang out here. So we'll get up to the front. I'll show you the sign, and then we'll head back into the campground, and then we'll see what other kind of trouble we can get into. We did bring the kayaks along, and I think it'll start getting busy. It was kind of busy when we got here last night, about 6 o'clock or so, because it is a public park. It does have a lot of people that stop in to use it that aren't camping, so you do have that. So I assume that this park is the Saratoga. I almost said Springs. Saratoga Park. Sure, I ain't gonna run over. The other is the Bay City Park and Campground. I think that's what it is. I'll show the sign when we walk in. All right, walking into the campground. Basically, the address is W6490 Lake Pepin Boulevard, Bay City, Wisconsin, 54723. Like I said, the camp host here is absolutely wonderful. She visited our campsite last year when we were here and gave us some pointers on how she was working on changing some of the reservation stuff and making sure that we kind of knew how to get booked in here. And Judy was on the ball and got in right away. And yeah, it's a wonderful site. Great campground. Now this is kind of the front side of these permanent sites. Like I said, if you're within a couple hours of here and you can snag a permanent here, boy, I think this is I'm not a permanent fan. I think most people know that. We like to move around, travel, and see things. But I'll tell you, if you had to do a permanent, I think this is where I'd have to have it. I think there's a lot of nice places out there we haven't seen, obviously, but this one is nice, very, very nice. The Bay City Park. So they do have this section through here that's a lot of riprap along it. And I know last year when the water was high, Mississippi was high, Lake Pepin is high. So wet springs can definitely be a potential problem, but not the end of the world. I just say you just can't beat the views here for the waterfront area. So yeah, here we are walking into the into that parking lot again. So all right, let's see if we have other trouble we can get into today. Let's go walk down to the Memorial Park. I want to go to the water, but it's like 11. We're going out and coming back to lunch, or having a bite to eat and then going out for a while, or walk down to Memorial Park. Again, mine is to wander. To wander.
You did not just hear the conversation we had, did you?
They're close. Right? So we're still kind of walking around or near the VFW. So we're still out walking around Bay City, and we're at near the American Legion post 357, and here's their display they have. Thanks to their donators. It's a great community. A little bit of train traffic, but not horrible. Like I stated that earlier, that last year there was a lot more train traffic. We're thinking maybe one an hour, something like that, maybe one every half hour or so. But the community has plenty of parks. There's a play area at the Campground Park. There's another park at the entrance. There's even play area behind here by the American Legion post. Very, very nice community. I definitely recommend if you're in the area or just passing through and need a place to stay, place to park your rig. I would definitely look this Bay City campground up. And then we're right beside the train tracks is there's an old, very nice elevator. It's not in use anymore, but would have filled trains. The lower section, the darker steel, would be where the wagons or trucks would come in. The tall part would have the elevator. The trains would pull straight up. And there's the highway. I believe it's Highway 35. And there's a looks like a dive bar there and a coffee shop with ice cream next to it. There's a Handy Mart way down there and a bar next to it on the other side of the highway. And then I found this little girl here. She's parked out by the American Legion. So, yeah. Well, we'll keep exploring and
But then Amy was told that Kyle's animal feed.
But there's a school across the street with a playground and a big baseball field and all that,
Yeah.
and basketball, so the school for basketball. And then they have the apartment building and then the school building. And a church is next door. They use some of those rooms, but they don't. But they do job training. They have free companies.
Yeah.
And they only take like
But our law, they
yeah,
have
they
two
do stuff like that.
supervisors.
That's good.
But just really, that's kind of what I'm getting anyway.
That's all agents,
That's good.
but they did a really good job.
Yeah, I bet they do.
They cut 2 acres in an hour.
Wow.
They had 2 lawnmowers and 2 bush
Wow.
mowers and, yeah.
But downtown, it's true. That you play with and then you go home.
Yeah.
So you don't see them at their worst. And I kept preparing them. I'm like, you know, it's not always buddy buddy. I hate that.
Oh.
Don't tell my kids that because they are.
Have a great day,
guys.
You too. What is good?
Let me try yours. Should be trying to get.
what do you have?
Caramel frappe. Peach, like slushy, basically. So I took the sparkling water out of it.
Aha.
I'll come back Saturday. That's okay. I had a packet for my friends.
So that's the Sunrise,
Coffee on Highway 50
Coffee.
or 35.
and that down there, that's the Outpost. It's obviously got a Tavern League sign, so it's a bar. And these guys do all kinds of coffee and flavors and ice cream and you name it, you can get a great place to stop for a refresher.